심심할 땐 TV행. 미국 펜실베니아 주립대 샘리처드 교수는 한국 학생들을 불러 한국의 교육 문화, 시스템 등에 관해 이야기를 합니다. 과연 다른 학생들의 반응은 어떨까요?
Hi, I'm Chaewon. I go by Chae, and I'm from South Korea, and I'm a freshman at Smil College of Business.
So you're a first-year student. So you just got here.
Yeah, I just got here.
But wait, but you grew up in
Cambodia.
and mostly in Cambodia.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Leah. My Korean name is Hyunseo, and I'm currently a junior in Penn State majoring in accounting. I mostly grew up in Korea.
Hi, my name is Do Hyung Kim. You can just call me Do.
Do.
Uh-huh.
All
And then I'm senior, majoring in statistics.
Uh-huh.
Hello everyone, my name is Junho Kwon and I'm from South Korea. My major is economics and currently I'm a junior as well.
Do you guys know any Koreans by chance that major in something like theater or literary studies? I don't know.
I know one film.
Dude, is that like, hey, so this term here, Hell Joseon, can you guys talk about this a little bit? I gave some of the data. I mean, I laid a few things out. Can you talk about, have you heard of this before?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, okay. Can you all talk about this?
I mean, it's like a term because like you've all seen it, like how expensive it is to afford an apartment in Seoul, the capital. And it's really like, it's where most people would want to live in, have a job, have their housing. But because it's so competitive to get a job or even like a good life there, we kind of call it Hell Joseon.
Hey, how do you say hey?
It's like Hell Joseon.
Joseon.
Yeah.
Hey, should we say what Joseon is?
So like Korea basically like started from Joseon Dynasty, and like during the period, like South like Korea was definitely harsh. And like these days, since it is like still very competitive to live there, we have like compound words, which is like combination of Hell plus Joseon Dynasty, just as back then.
The Joseon Dynasty was about 500 years.
Yeah.
And everything what we know about Korea today largely came together in the Joseon Dynasty.
Yeah.
Including the characters, right? The alphabet
Right.
and so on. Uh-huh. So say more about Hell Joseon. Say Hil.
So,
What else would the rest of you add to this?
like as long as I remember, like as a student when I was back in Korea, I was a high school student there, and I was actually preparing for like many exams there, and like 90%, like just most of the students, they studied more than like 10 or 12 hours a day. So like even I studied as much as I could, it was just the average. So I remember it was very competitive.
And so the idea is that no matter what you do, you're like spinning your wheels to try to keep up with everybody else.
Right.
And you never know if you can, because are you ever gonna it doesn't matter how much you study, you can always study more, and there's always someone else studying more. And then when you finally get a job, maybe you get a job, or you're graduating, now you're competing with all these other people, and you're back on the hamster wheel. And then once you get a job, maybe you're not making enough money, or you're working and working and working, and no matter what, it's like hell. It's like Squid Game, in a way, right?
So like once before, like back in high school, I had a like talk with the academic counselor back in high school, and then she said like even if you like study really hard during the vacation, like that will just leave you as like just the average, because everyone's gonna like study hard during the period.
So that would sound like hell to most of you all, I would assume, right? Do you guys want to add anything to this idea?
Okay, so basically it means like it's more harder for our generation to proceed compared to our parents' generation. Like for example, like it was okay to succeed like for our parents' generation, like when they had to get a loan and they were able to buy like apartments, but today it's really complicated and there's a lot of restrictions and it's more competitive. So yeah, literally it means it's hell for our generations compared to our parents' generations.
Mm-hmm. And also your parents were competing. If your parents had, for example, a college degree, they weren't competing with 70% of the population their age who also had college degrees. So the college degree is just the norm. Leah, you said something about that. Can we talk about these? Like, tell people what these hagwons are. Like, what is this?
Okay, so hagwon is like academic lessons that students take after school. It may be just tutor and or just normal lessons from another professionals. So, you know, like Koreans are like, they're really into education. So going to more than 3 hagwons per day or like maybe 5, it's really normal for Koreans.
To add on, there are like districts of hagwons. So there are different districts within Seoul. Some of them, there are hagwons populated within the district. So the street would be full of buildings, and within the building, there would be full of hagwons, like for math, science, English, foreign languages. There will be hagwon for literally anything, any subject you can think of.
Okay, so hang on. So let's be clear here. You go to school, then you have lunch, and you go to afternoon school. Yeah? That's your regular school, which is already longer than in most places in the U.S., right? Like, what's the average school day?
So normally it starts at 8, I think, and then ends at 3 afternoon. So that's only school. And
Okay,
then,
so right, so everyone goes to school, right? Okay, so all right, go ahead.
And then after school, when I was in middle school, I went to like 2 or 3 hagwons. It's basically line tutoring, you know, at line tutors. But in some tutoring, if you get, you know, they test you, and then if you don't get like high scores, they don't send you home. So
Wait, so you get like locked into a hagwon?
So like basically a few days I couldn't go to home, like in the 3 or 4 in the morning.
Wait, so you're paying, your parents are paying for this, right? Your parents pay for this. The hagwons you pay for.
Yeah.
Right.
Like
okay.
$300-$400 a month.
Okay. And it could be a lot more. If you have a lot of money, obviously you're going to pay a lot of money. Okay, wait, and so then how long might you stay at a hagwon? So after school, like it's 3 o'clock, you would go directly to the tutoring? Or would you go home first? Or like, well, how do you do, what?
Yeah.
And then you go?
Yeah.
What's the latest people stay at hagwon? Like what, then until when?
Like, so basically 2 or 3 in the morning maybe, but during my middle school year, the law got changed. Hagwon cannot, you know, hold students in their, until like 10 o'clock. So basically, every hagwon should end at 10 o'clock. But, you know, there's the other way. They get apartments in the private, and then they collect students. And then they hold students until like 2 or 3 in the morning. So basically, law doesn't mean anything.
Wait, hang on. Can someone, Leah, Junho, do you want to add to that?
Yeah, so there was a restriction from the government not to like block students until 10 p.m. So hagwons, they started to gather people at real like private places like Do-hyung mentioned, or some hagwons, they opened at 4 a.m. So like students would wake up at 3 a.m. and start their hagwon at 4 a.m.
Before they go to school?
Yeah, before they go to school, because the regulation, like they can't stay until hagwon for 10 p.m. So
they start early?
Yeah, they started early.
Did you do hagwons?
Yeah, I did. So like in general, like most of like those like cram schools, they ended around like 9 or 10 p.m. But like if you're like a really competitive student, and if you're like one of those like students, you go to like specific cram schools that open up until like 2 or 3 in the morning, and then when you're like done with those cram schools, you go to a place called 독서실, which is like a place to study. It's like similar to the library, but like everyone's very focused, concentrated, no one talks.
Wait, and how old are we talking here?
So like when I was like in middle school, like to high school, I did the same routine over and over. So
Wait,
I'm
so-
basically talking about my like.
Okay, so so I want to be clear here. So those numbers up there, 83% of Korean, about 83% of Korean 5-year-olds go to hagwons, and about 36% of Korean 2-year-olds go to hagwons. Dude, so we're not talking 2-year-olds aren't going 5 days a week till 2 in the morning. I mean, on the average, this was one particular study. The average is like, like 2 sessions a week. And for 5-year-olds, it's like 50-minute sessions, 5 days a week. But the point is, you're doing tutoring. Everyone, 83%. Dude, this is 83% of the Korean population. And here's what would happen. I just want to be clear about something. If 70% of American 25 to 34-year-olds had college degrees, trust me, you all would be going to hagwons also, because you'd be competing. As it is, when you graduate from Penn State, you have the idea, okay, you're going to find a job. But if you were competing with twice as many people with college degrees here or back home, wherever you're from, if you're not from the United States, you'd be tutoring. Can you say something about crime in Korea? Because people are probably wondering, like, how are you up at that hour in the morning when you're like 14 years old or whatever? But
So Korea is identified as really safe country. So like a lot of people go out at 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. and we don't feel like we're not nervous. Like we know it's safe. So like there's not a lot of crime in South Korea.
So are there like extracurricular activities that you do, or like do you guys play like sports, or like you literally just do school
who has
Monday
time
to
for
Friday?
sports, dude?
I mean, I feel like I would go insane if I was just doing school for like 15 hours a day. Like, would you not?
Yeah. Look at them. Do they?
No,
look
seriously,
normal,
I don't
dude?
know, because you don't need I feel like you don't need 15 hours of school a day to like go out in the real world and make money. Like,
I don't know.
like,
I know. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I got you. All right, go ahead. Yeah, do you have
So
sports?
most
What do you do?
students, if you play sports after school, you're gonna be like sports star. Like you're not going college. You're gonna be like you're gonna play sports for your life.
Yeah, so it's like really divided. So in other words, like if you can take the sports track, but the sports track is really going to be the sports track.
Yeah, like besides the study wise.
You're not gonna be a scholar athlete.
So you can't be well balanced all around.
You can't be no, you can be, but can you be well balanced all around? Can you you were in Cambodia for much of your childhood? How do you see this?
I mean, I moved to Cambodia when I was in elementary school because of this, because I was like 8 and I still had to go to those hagwons as an 8-year-old, trying to learn English, trying to do math. And I was in grade 2 or 3 going to those hagwons after school. And my parents just thought oh, this is not it. I can't do this to my child. So that's why we moved out of Korea for my education to Cambodia to go to an international school. And there, it's similar to here, what you guys do. Go to school, come back, play sports, have extracurricular. So my high school experience, my middle school and high school experiences are kind of different to my friends in Korea who have routines every day. Yeah, but in Korea, if you do want to play sports, you need to be a professional athlete.
Unless you go that route.
Yeah, unless you're going to be a professional athlete, you don't play sports.
Yeah, because it's not. Remember the list of that's like majoring in theater. Majoring in sports is like majoring in theater. Koreans don't do that. Whatever.